Consider a snapshot. A few years ago, the computer and consulting giant IBM was searching for a place to locate a new campus. They visited a place called Dubuque, Iowa, a town of 65,000 people, and were quickly taken with the community's plan to refurbish its old downtown by bringing in restaurants and retail with apartments and condos. Now, Dubuque, Iowa is a city that at one time was known as sort of the maybe pork capital of the world. They processed a lot of pork. Dubuque Meats was a company that was founded there. But over time, as is the case with many communities, things changed. But IBM immediately recognized this is exactly the kind of environment where people were trying to transform their community, where young, talented professionals were looking to live, where they can get to work and find something to eat without sitting behind the wheel. And last fall, when I visited Dubuque, I was also equally impressed. So we provided funding through our Tiger program for the construction of a street network with bike and pedestrian routes throughout the community, helping to give an old river town a new beginning. And as a result of what IBM saw, they are relocating an office there which will bring 1,500 executives into the downtown, into the community of Dubuque. And I know that at times people wonder what the whole livable community really is and how do you define it. And the reason I use the Dubuque, Iowa illustration is because I think it is a good definition where you have a company like IBM looking to locate 1,500 people, and what they're looking at are what does the community really offer for young executives. And so it helps us define what livable communities are. Livability means that our communities are economically competitive and affordable, that people have more than one choice about how to get to work. It means that infrastructure, whether roads, rail, sea, or air, are safe, functional, and in a state of good repair. It means that kids can walk or bike to school, that veterans or senior citizens can get to a doctor's appointment even if they can't drive. It means that families can decide to live in interesting places with green space, walking, and cycling paths nearby. It means that we assure a future in which businesses are located close to housing, a future in which economic development, housing, and transportation planning are connected. And in this way, transportation policy isn't about rubber tires and steel wheels. It's how a student goes from a neighborhood with safe streets to a school that prepares him or her to collaborate and compete in the global economy. It's how that student's parents go from an affordable home to a job that helps pay the bills. Now, to make our vision for livable communities a reality, we all need to change the way we do business, and sometimes that's difficult. For one, communities need to work as common regions rather than separate planning organizations. And I think all of you in this room know what I'm talking about. Whether our economies grow or contract, whether congestion eases or intensifies, whether climate change worsens or slows, all of these things depend on whether we work together. I've traveled all over the country in the last several months that I've been in this job. And when people ask me, how do we really compete for Tiger money, for high-speed rail money, how do we really get into this, these opportunities that are available through the Department of Transportation, it's a very easy answer. And I've said this in many places. I've said it to governors, I've said it to mayors, I've said it to city planners, I've said it to people in the transportation business, you have to get your act together. When people are willing to set aside their own agendas, set aside their own egos, and work together, good things will happen. We have very limited resources in Washington, D.C. And what we're trying to promote is that when people work together and plan together and have good ideas together, great things are going to happen in communities. We're doing that in the administration. Almost from the very first day that I came into this job, Sean Donovan, the Secretary at HUD, and I got together, and we decided that we were going to work together by sharing our resources, by putting aside some of our, the silos that existed in the Department of HUD and the Department of Transportation, break down the silos and work together. And so now we are combining our resources to implement what we believe are livable communities, and you can't do that without good transportation and also affordable housing. And President Obama's administration, DOT, is joining with HUD and EPA to tear down barriers within our agencies and build bridges across our agencies. And we've developed the Tiger Grant process as a first step toward supporting smart, sustainable development that we all want to see. Last year, we received almost 1,500 Tiger Grant applications totaling $60 billion. We had $1.5 billion. So we had some very, very tough decisions. And not every state received funding. And we look forward to North Carolina's proposal in the next round of submissions. And I can tell you that your governor was not very happy with me. I saw her at a governor's meeting recently. She called me out in front of a lot of other governors for not funding the applications that came from North Carolina. And we will continue to work hard with all of you in this room and others who want to make progress. We do have another round of Tiger, not as much as we had before. It'll be a little under $600 million. The guidance is on our website now, so take a look at that. Soon we'll be submitting the date by which we will start receiving applications, but we do want to get this money out the door this year.